Welcome to the Curious Platypus. I'm Michael Edward, and today's piece is titled The Legend of the Golden Hood Ornament. The golden sword the Barbie doll held in her hand vibrated ever so slightly as the driver waited at the lights. The battle axe the T-Rex grasped with its left claw, and the shield it gripped with its right, also echoed the rumble of the Ute's motor. But it wasn't until the Ute took off that the show really began. As the driver shifted gears, the Barbie doll that rode on the back of this T-Rex rocked back and forth in a way that mirrored a warrior galloping into battle. Legend has it that in the southern suburbs of Perth, Western Australia, there was once a red work ute whose custom-made hood ornament outshone all others. A hood ornament so exquisite that when the sun's rays struck its golden exterior, all those who laid eyes upon it couldn't help but smile. A hood ornament so fun that it would leave any child who saw it overcome with joy. A hood ornament so humorous that even the parents of these children would chuckle at this unconventional embellishment. And a hood ornament so extraordinary that it left you wondering, what sort of eccentric genius would fix such a thing to their ute? How do I know this legend? Because I have ridden shotgun in this ute, as I am lucky enough to call this eccentric genius a friend. The friend in question will not be named, not to hide his identity. After all, anyone who knows the legend of this hood ornament knows exactly who I'm talking about. But rather, because much like me, the friend in question understands the problem with labels. That which can be labelled is that which has been reduced, defined, and boxed in, I can practically hear my friend saying. Watching waves crash on the shore has this way of shifting my perspective. Somehow, the compulsive urge I feel to incessantly run around chasing my goals, crossing off to-do lists, and optimizing my time is momentarily swept away by the majesty of the ocean. My friend has a similar effect on me. As I have just alluded, I am a wee bit driven. Some might even call me obsessive. So much so that my compulsion to ceaselessly march towards my goals often leads me to fall into all kinds of traps. I forget about the importance of balance, the value of rest, the power of play, and sometimes even to end my run-on sentences. And while I know it's not helpful, healthy, or sane to plan out every moment of my day just so I can squeeze in as much hustling as humanly possible, this is my default way of being. And I'm ashamed to admit that this way of existing often makes me feel like any moment that isn't directed towards achieving my goals is nothing but a waste of time. This is how my friend shifts my perspective with his whimsical ways. Time and time again, I have seen how my friend's whimsy has brought joy to others. Like the time he built a skatable duck pond in our backyard so that before we filled it with water for our pet duck, Jam Quackster, me and another friend spent the entire afternoon having the best time skating in it. I have seen how his whimsy reminds others not to take themselves so seriously, such as the time my friend, who is a big burly tradie in his 50s, painted all his nails pink just to give the other tradies a laugh. And I have seen how his whimsy encapsulates the dying practice of doing things for the sheer sake of doing them. This was best highlighted by the time my friend spent weeks cutting pavers into the pattern of a yin-yang symbol to then pave a small area in the backyard of our rental property, even though it was soon to be demolished. While I could go on and on about my friend's whimsical ways, I think the point is best served by returning to the passenger seat of that ute. As I watched that Barbie doll and her Jurassic steed gallop ever forward, I noticed my friend reach over the steering wheel to nudge this bobblehead bumblebee figurine that was stuck to his dashboard. Noticing me notice him, he smiled and said, "Barbie can't be the only one having fun. The bee's gotta be bopping too." Watching on as my friend began to bop his own head in rhythm with the bumblebee, I realized that the magical quality he emanates is the same as that of a child, and that through his whimsical ways, he reminds everyone lucky enough to be around him of something we all intuitively knew as kids. Play is never a waste of time.